Efron and a friend got into a brawl with at least one homeless person.
What was Zac doing parked under a freeway in a crappy part of downtown LA?
Narcotics area.
Was he involved in one of the many drug deals that occur in that area?
You had to recently dispel rumors that you had undergone plastic surgery. You actually experienced your jaw being shattered.
After slipping and hitting a fountain while running in socks at home, he passed out and woke up to find his chin bone hanging off his face.
Many people pointed out that Zac seemed to have a new sculpted appearance, with people comparing Zac's new appearance to handsome Squidward.
His masseter muscles, used for chewing, quote, just got really, really big.
Get plastic surgery, you wouldn't get that. Come on.
No, it was funny. It sucked. I almost died, but we're good.
Zac Efron has a questionable history in Hollywood. He was once a Disney heartthrob who won the hearts of America, but then Zac fell into the party scene and became addicted to cocaine. His relationship with Vanessa Hudgens fell apart, and then he started to fall apart until he reappeared with a new face. So let's get into it. Zac Efron is a beloved actor who's been in the industry for a long time, but there's no denying that he's had some sketchy and bizarre moments in his career.
High School Musical star Zac Efron was physically attacked at night in downtown LA. ABC's Mara Schiavocampo has the details.
Let's take it back to 2014 when Zac was attacked after midnight in downtown LA.
Efron gets beat up while mysteriously parked in the hood. Welcome back to Clever News, y'all. This sounds like the plot of a movie, but very sadly, it is not. It's the true story about the Neighbors star getting his ass handed to him while in a very questionable scenario.
So let's talk about how this popular actor ends up fighting a homeless person downtown. The reports read that Zac mysteriously ended up in a bad area and ended up getting violently socked in the mouth by a homeless person. We're told cops were on patrol under the Harbor Freeway when they saw Zac and a man identified as his bodyguard. Cops saw Zac and the other guy getting in a full-blown fight with at least 3 other people.
According to KABC, the LAPD confirms that a battery report was taken involving actor Zac Efron and a second person. A new LA Times report says Efron and a friend got into a brawl with at least one homeless person early Sunday in downtown Los Angeles.
Reports say that the area where this occurred is rough. Cops are on high alert for drug deals and gangs. One source says that Zac was obviously intoxicated.
It's a high crime area, narcotics area, and crimes of violence.
After breaking up the fight, cops questioned Zac. He told them that he ran out of gas and was sitting in the car. Zac said while waiting for a tow truck, they threw a bottle out the window. They never said what was in the bottle, and it smashed on the pavement near a group of homeless people.
According to Zac, he and his driver ran out of gas in none other than one of the shadiest parts of town, downtown LA under the Harbor Freeway. Zac said while waiting for a tow truck, they threw a glass bottle, who knows of what, out of the car window, which smashed into pieces on the pavement.
Zac said then these people confronted him and his bodyguard because they believed that the pair was throwing the bottle at them. Zac said that 2 of these people attacked the bodyguard, and when Zac got out of the car to help, he got cold cocked in the mouth. Zac said it was the hardest I've ever been hit in my life.
And apparently some transients thought that the bottle was being thrown at them, so they took it as a challenge. The next thing Zac knew, 2 of the guys were attacking his bodyguard. So Zac got out of the car to try to stop the fight, and that is when one of the guys socked Zac right in the mouth. It was the hardest I've ever been hit in my life, he said.
We still don't know what Zac was doing downtown in this area. It probably involves drugs. But he did speak about this situation years later. This is what Zac had to say. We were having trouble finding somewhere. A lot of places were closed, and our car ran out of gas on the 110. It was ridiculous. We had to pull over, and I called an Uber. A homeless guy then tapped on the driver's side window. Before I knew it, my bodyguard was out of the car and they started fighting. I saw that the homeless man was carrying some sort of knife or shank, so I got out of the car to disarm him, which sounds very different than the original report. At some point, the man dropped the knife and Zac got hit pretty hard in the face. Almost instantly, the police were there to break up the fight. Law enforcement told TMZ that no one was arrested because they viewed it as a mutual combat, which would mean that Zac, I guess, had to provoke this person, which would make sense if he threw a glass bottle at these people who were just hanging out, which I believe that's probably what happened.
What everyone really wants to know is, what was Zac doing parked under a freeway in a crappy part of downtown LA? Did he really run out of gas and was waiting for a tow truck, or was he involved in one of the many drug deals that occur in that area? I am not trying to start a rumor, I am trying to squash one.
It would make sense if Zac was in this area for drugs because he's been open about his issues with drugs. I mean, back in 2013, he had 2 rehab stints in 1 year, which I would never shame because I think it's important to go to rehab if you need it, but he had to go twice in 1 year, so that's a lot. Zac Efron has done rehab for cocaine not just once this year, but twice after a major relapse. Sources close to the situation say that Zac has been doing cocaine for more than 2 years, and he's also into Molly. Oof. He tried to clean himself up in March by getting professional help. We're told he left California and stayed in a private residence where he received intensive outpatient care for several weeks. In April, he returned to LA and began shooting Seth Rogen's film Neighbors. During the shoot, Zac relapsed in a big way. Zac wasn't showing up on set, and it was common knowledge that he was using again. Our sources say that after the film wrapped, he got a second dose of outpatient care. So he's going through really intense celebrity therapy because of these substances that he's hooked on. And unfortunately, this really started to define who Zac Efron was, because he was the clean-cut teenager from the Disney Channel, and now he's, addicted to in and out of rehab, so it must have been really hard on him. Like, literally, I found this one article where they listed all of the issues that led to why Zac has used coke. Let's go ahead and quickly break them down. This source claims that Zac has significant issues with his parents, who are still trying to control his life and decision making, so that's where he's using coke. Zac is upset about his movie career, which was hot after High School Musical, but then he had no real success. Zac has girl issues, although we're told it has nothing to do with Vanessa Hudgens. And then finally, Zac had been hanging out with a bad group of friends who introduced him to the world of cocaine. We're told that Zac has 86'd most of them from his life in the past few months. Later on in life, Zac Efron was able to get it under control and get clean. The actor has been very vocal about his drug-filled past and said that battling addiction is a never-ending struggle. He admitted to joining Alcoholics Anonymous and began seeing a therapist, which, quote, changed his life. Zac's been quoted saying, "I was drinking a lot, way too much. It's never one specific thing. I mean, you're in your 20s, you're single, you're going through life in Hollywood, The 26-year-old told the magazine. Everything is thrown at you. I wouldn't take back anything. I needed to learn everything I did, but it was an interesting journey to say the least." It is really interesting, and there are some parts of his life that I can't seem to make sense of, like his weird jaw injury. The reports read that Zac Efron breaks jaw in a bizarre accident, and it is bizarre. Zac Efron broke his jaw. His jaw is wired shut. It supposedly happened when he slipped in a puddle of water at his home. Zac has been in rehab twice this year for cocaine abuse, and he's also had issues with Molly. In addition to the broken jaw, Zac apparently also suffered a big old gash that had to be closed with stitches. Maybe it's true, but it's a very weird story, slipping and breaking your jaw in a puddle of water. We're told Zac, who had been a hard partier for years, has been struggling to stay clean. It is a weird story. I mean, he claims that he broke his jaw and had to have his mouth wired shut after running through his house in socks, slipped, I guess, on a puddle of water, and hit the granite corner of a fountain and lost consciousness. When he woke up, his chin bone was hanging off of his face. This injury also came around a time where he tore his ACL, dislocated his shoulder, broke his wrist, and threw out his back. So, holy crap, He aged himself like 20 years with all those injuries, just like his body just like fell apart.
Zac says after slipping and hitting a fountain while running in socks at home, he passed out and woke up to find his chin bone hanging off his face. This led to speculation in 2021 that he had undergone plastic surgery.
So because of this intense jaw injury, Zac Efron's face has changed, and some people have questions about this.
You had to recently dispel rumors that you had undergone plastic surgery. You actually experienced your jaw being shattered, in 2013? Why did you feel like you had to address those rumors?
I didn't really. I don't really read the internet, so I don't really give a f. It was just, if that's the direction that it was going, maybe it's time
to get plastic surgery, he wouldn't get that.
So now let's move on to our next part of the video, where we talk a little bit about what was going on with Zac Efron's face and whether he had work done to, I guess, correct his jaw issue or what happens, because he clearly looks different.
During his chat with Bill Nye the Science Guy, many people pointed out that Zac seemed to have a new sculpted appearance. Here's the total video so you can see for yourself. Do you notice any difference in Zac's face?
A big budget Broadway musical spectacular? Bill, wow. I mean, I knew you were smart, but I think you're a genius.
As soon as that clip started to circulate, the memes flooded Twitter, with people comparing Zac's new appearance to handsome Squidward, The Weeknd in the Save Your Tears music video, and Human Shrek. Others went as far as saying that Zac ruined his face with plastic surgery and fillers.
So there are so many people who were invested in Zac Efron's new look and wanted to get to the bottom of it. I mean, looking through my email, there were several people that were requesting for me to make a video about his face and what could have happened to him.
Fans could not stop talking about Zac Efron's new appearance over the weekend, but did he actually get some kind of surgery like people are saying, or is it all just rumors? Let's get into what we know.
So in 2022, Zac Efron finally addressed what caused his facial transformation. Zac finally set the record straight on his face transformation 1 year after the rumors started. The actor told Men's Health in October 2022 that he shattered his jaw while running around the house in his socks. But something I don't understand is why this injury is now showing up 8 years after the fact.
Everybody is talking about Zac Efron and how strange he looks. Has he had plastic surgery to reshape his jawline, Botox, or fillers? I don't think so. I actually think he's had dental surgery, not plastic surgery. That's why he's swollen in these areas. If you've had your wisdom teeth taken out, did you look like this?
Zac Efron claims that his masseter, which is the muscle right here, if you clench with me, everyone, clench. It's this one right here. That his masseter muscles just grew, and that's why his jaw looked so expanded. He claims his facial muscles got, quote, really, really big to compensate for the injury. So he actually worked with a physical therapist to counteract their growth.
Zac explains that while doing physical therapy, his masseter muscles, used for chewing, quote, just got really, really big. He concludes, if I valued what other people thought of me to the extent that they may think I do, I definitely wouldn't be able to do this work.
It's good that Zac doesn't really pay attention to what people have to say about him, but it was his mom who actually confronted him about the face change. She told him that he was getting a bunch of attention online about his appearance and the possibility of plastic surgery, and she actually claimed that people were calling it Jawgate. So entire scandal's called Jawgate.
Get plastic surgery, you wouldn't get that. Come on.
You got a good job, man.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God. You're just stirring the pot.
No, it was funny. It sucked. I almost died, but we're good.
But you're good now?
Yeah.
Good. That's good to see you in a healthy, happy place.
Thank you.
Even if Zac claims that it doesn't really bother him, I'm sure it does to a degree, and there were a lot of people who were standing up for him, so he does have that support.
Fans also came to Zac's defense, saying that he's still stunning no matter what, which is absolutely facts, and that they feel bad for him because people can't accept that he's not going to look 21 for the rest of his life. All of this got Zac trending on Twitter, with hundreds of thousands of tweets rolling in over the weekend.
Now, enough about Zac's face, let's talk about Vanessa Hudgens, because a lot of people say that Zac did her dirty. So let's go ahead and talk about the reasons why they broke up and why they were so toxic. One of the reasons why they were toxic was because Vanessa was really jealous, because Zac Efron was one of the hottest celebrities in the world, and there are millions of other girls who wanted to be with him, so she had a lot of competition, even though she really didn't, but these women were trying to hit on him, so it probably added a lot of stress. She was quoted saying, "I went through a phase when I was really mean because I was so fed up. Girls were running after him and I was giving them death stares. Then I realized that's not what it's about. Spread love and be a good person. They will support you. Be nice. But there was more than just jealousy, because at some points there were fights between the couple, and they even had it on set of High School Musical. The two fell in love while filming the Disney movie High School Musical and dated for many years until breaking up in 2010. Vanessa opened up about that time in her life and what she had to do to balance her work life and relationship. Quote, I remember one time we did have a fight and it was while we were at rehearsals. And I remember Kenny, the director, coming around the corner with the most concerned look on his face. Like, oh no, is our movie going to fall apart right now? And that's a lot of pressure on some young actors to keep their relationship going so the movie could keep that chemistry. Quote, I pride myself on being professional. So I was like, that aside, we're going to move forward and do what we need to do and sort it all out. I think because I was so young, having that relationship really stabilized me. And it does seem like they had some really great times together, and when Vanessa went through her scandals, Zac was there. Vanessa was left embarrassed by not one but two photo scandals over the course of her relationship with Zac Efron. The first photos hit the internet in September 2009, and rumors began to swirl that she would be dropped from High School Musical 3. The leak was made even more controversial by the fact that the actress had allegedly emailed photos to former Nickelodeon star Drake Bell, which is, ew, such a creep. It seems that Vanessa did not learn her lesson the first time because she found herself in the middle of yet another photo scandal in August 2009. Although Zac never really made any public statements about the leaks, it seems that he stood by Vanessa. And he really was a good boyfriend to her at the time, because there were moments where he was in the middle of doing press in Australia and they were asking him about these photos and he didn't even really know what was going on, but he stood by her side.
There's been sort of a bit of controversy about it at the moment. I know you found out about it on the red carpet last night about some supposed photos of your apparent girlfriend Vanessa.
Really?
Do you know about this? Is this true, or is this just something that's been made up?
You know, regardless if it's true, if it's not, you know, personal question, and I don't talk about any of my friends' personal life.
Kyle.
Right. What? No, I'm just laughing because I know it'd be awkward. Like, whether it's true or not, it'd be like if someone said to me,
oh, apparently there's Tamara.
Tamara's all over
yeah.
the thing, and I would have thought, oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it.
Well,
and I would
regardless,
do the same
you know,
way.
no one's seen anything yet. So
That's
right.
Exactly. That's why I wondered if it was just a rumor at this stage.
Although Zac was acting supportive, it does seem like he was bothered by this photo scandal. Zac couldn't have been thrilled about being dragged into the middle of such a controversial news story. It probably put at least a bit of strain on their relationship, having these inappropriate photos floating around of Vanessa, and these photos weren't necessarily meant for him. If you guys want a deep dive about Zac and Vanessa's relationship, here's my email. Send me an email with your video ideas and we'll make it happen. But lately, it seems like Zac Efron's latest controversy is this lawsuit with Netflix. Zac Efron and Netflix are tarnishing a health and wellness brand's good name with their streaming series, according to a new lawsuit. The actor and streaming giant are being sued over their series, Down to Earth with Zac Efron. And they're being sued by a company called Down to Earth Organics, which claims that the Netflix travel show is hurting their business. According to the new lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Down to Earth claims that they locked down the rights to Down to Earth for media and entertainment purposes well before Zac and Netflix premiered their show. Down to Earth says that the Netflix series Advice on Wellness has been widely ridiculed and pushing damaging false nutrition claims. And they're not fans of Zac using the show to cross-promote Nature Valley snack bars on social media. Down to Earth is going after Zac and Netflix for damages, and they want an injunction prohibiting Zac and Netflix from infringing on their Down to Earth trademarks. And when it comes to Zac Efron's bizarre past, that's pretty much it. But I found a sick article I had to show you guys because it's just so disgusting, and it involves Zac Efron and Harvey Weinstein. One of Harvey Weinstein's accusers told the court that Harvey told her to pretend that he was someone like Zac Efron. Now, this is really triggering right here. She said that she experienced a brief blackout with Harvey, his victim did, and he went to go and harm her physically, and he attempted to calm her down by telling her to pretend that he was someone like Zac Efron. To escape his hold, his victim began flailing her arms in the air and broke her nail against a coffee table, then stabbed him with the broken nail, and he screamed, and oh my gosh, she got away from him. But shoot, that sounds traumatizing. And how is Harvey Weinstein going to try to calm down his victim by telling her to just act like he's Zac Efron? Like, please, you're the furthest thing from Zac Efron. Like, what? That's so gross. Like, I would like sue him for using my name in that way. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.